Alright guys, this is the post-draft team analysis. This is just going to be my first look at every other team in the draft. There have been some moves already, so anybody that does any moves after the point that I'm recording this, they're not going to be included. I think it's just Sam and Nelly Boy that have dropped. There's a Rotom Wash and a double being dropped for Cofagrigus and Machamp. Latios and Bronzor for Reuniclus and Galvantula. I think that's it. Yes. So, this is just in alphabetical order, starting with the Brooklyn Kangas. Got Tornadus, Articuno Galar, Entei, Clefable, Raikou, Lapras, Mienshao, Sandaconda, Gmax, Druddigon, Eldegoss, and Metang. So the first thing I think here is that Sandaconda Gmax is fantastic and can obviously pair with Perish Song. Maybe Lapras was the best Perish Songer available when he did this draft. Not sure. But, I mean, that can just straight up win you a game, getting the Gmax effect off with Perish Song. Clefable with Follow Me, definitely good. We've got the Prankster Tailwind. You could also run it Defiant. I don't know what good attack moves Tornadus gets. Probably Fly. That could definitely steal you a game. Galarian Articuno is fantastic against Intimidate teams, or even just against Dynamax in general, put into bulk. He's got the Entei Raikou combo, so they can't be faked out or intimidated, which is obviously good. Entei has a huge attack stat. Raikou has a huge special attack stat, and they've got great support move pools. Both of them have Bulldoze. Mienshao is an incredible support and also has 125 attack. Druddigon kind of sucks. I feel like Mono Dragon is a bad typing, plus it's like got a really bad speed tier of 48. So it's like Druddigon hard loses against my team because I'm super Trick Room. But against like a fast team, it's also not fast enough. But if he faces a team that doesn't have a good Trick Room option, he can run Trick Room or Articuno and maybe make Druddigon work, but I don't know. I'm never worried about Druddigon, even with the huge attack. Eldegoss, outside, like if somebody had picked Cresselia from me, I was going to pick Eldegoss as part of a non-Gen 4 strat, because I think this Cotton Down ability is incredible. He's got huge defense stats, and yeah, it can just be a defensive tank. Metang is cool. I look forward to that. Like with an Eviolite, he's super tanky. 60, 100 goes up to 150, 80 goes up to 120, and he's got this weird speed tier again. So that would need to be a Trick Room thing, I think. You can also use like Bullet Punch to activate a Lapras weakness policy. Nope, that's not weak. Never mind. Doesn't activate anything. Anyway, this is a good team. Lots of options. California Colossals are next. We've got... Oh, he's got a new logo. Nice. Stakataka, Garchomp. He stole Garchomp from me. I wanted Garchomp. Tapu Lele, Butterfree Gmax, Beartic, Hitmonlee, Runerigus, Shedinja, oh god, Vanillix, Lantern, Rapidash. I've also not looked at most of these teams, so this is just off the top of my head. Just so everybody knows. So Stakataka is obviously a massive tank. 211 defense is crazy. You can run a weakness policy, get a huge attack boost. You can run Trick Room, Body Press stuff with Iron Defense. Yeah, this is just a really good pick. Garchomp, does he have? Yeah, he has Rage Powder, so Garchomp could set up on you. With Dragon Dance, he's also a good substitute user. If he has any way of setting Sand, which he doesn't really, he could Rockfall, but Sand Veil's always got the chance to just win you a game every now and then. Tapu Lele is good just for the Psychic Surge. You could also pair it Telepathy with Garchomp Earthquake. I accidentally clicked Garchomp. Gmax Butterfree, this Gmax effect is absolutely bonkers. This is a great pick. If it doesn't die and it puts both Pokemon to sleep, like that's just absurd. Plus, it gets Rage Powder if he doesn't want to G-Max it. Obviously, the problem with G-Maxing Butterfree is that you're maxing a Butterfree who's got terrible stats. But the effect is ridiculous. Beartic will pair with the Vanillix. He's got Slush Rush. And I've run a Beartic before. He's like super strong. 130 is nothing to scoff at. I want to scroll over to see his speed. 50 speed again, so that only goes up to 100, so he's still middle-ish. 224 speed will get him, like, he's max speed, and he won't have to run max speed every time, obviously. But like, this will outspeed a Dragapult, for instance. Hitmonlee, like, reckless high jump kicks are absurd. Unburden's a great ability in general. You can pair that with Psychic Surge. Easy combo. Runerigus, Wandering Spirit, I feel like there's some stuff you could do here. You could Sucker Punch Runerigus with Hitmonlee, give it Unburden, and then it's going at double speed. That's not good. There's probably something better you can do with that. Can it copy Wonder Guard? Sucker Punch? That's still got a lot of weaknesses, though, so that could be good, but I don't know. There's probably something he's got planned that I'm not seeing. You could give him Beast Boost, maybe? That would be wild. Shedinja is obviously good in Draft League, just to make people think about how am I going to make sure that Shedinja is possible to go down. Vanillix, there's a lot of weather setters that got drafted. We have Politoed this time, Tyranitar, Hippopotas, Hippowdon, Gigalith, Ninetales and Torkoal both got picked. So yeah, having a way to get rid of those, I'm the only... No, somebody got Aurorus, which also sets Hail, so there's 3 teams with Hail setters, I think. And Lantern, great against water types, and potentially electric types, and we've seen him sweep. 125 base health is crazy. Rapidash, whatever, it's your last pick. It's pretty garbage, but you can make it work. It learns Hypnosis. Never count that out. This is also a good team. I do feel like Garchomp and Stack don't really synergize very well, but it's like super slow, super fast. This is good though. He's got like 2 modes. My team, I'm basically like, I need Trick Room most of the time, right? This team definitely has speed modes, which is good. DC Genies, newcomer. Dragapult, Excadrill, Togekiss, Blastoise, Colossal, Normal Colossal, Cradily, Frostlass, Tauros, Clang, oh, it's Frostlass, Tauros, Clang, Manectric, and Thwackey. Yeah, Dragapult's always good. Huge amount of options. You can do support Dragapult. You can do offensive Dragapult, weakness policy, set up Dragapult with Dragon Dance, all sorts of shit. He's actually got Togekiss and Excadrill, so the famous Series 5 combo. He has no way of setting the Sand, I believe. Correct. So Sand Rush isn't really in the cards, or Sand Force, but Mold Breaker is also a great ability, and obviously Excadrill is just incredible. He stole Togekiss from me, follow me, great support, run weakness policy, crit kiss, whatever. Everybody knows what Togekiss does. Blastoise with Shell Smash is always a threat. He's also got Fake Out, Yawn, lots of great support options. Regular Colossal, whatever. You can definitely do like a Choice Scarf Flip Turn into Colossal to activate Steam Engine, but you're not getting the Volcalith off, so I feel like that's the main draw of Colossal. It'll still be strong, but not worth devoting an entire draft, like an entire prep for, like a G-Max Colossal would be. Like if you're facing G-Max Colossal, you gotta plan for G-Max Colossal. If you're facing regular Colossal, I don't think you're gonna do that. Cradily with Storm Drain, he's gotta watch out for this. Cradily Blastoise. I feel like it's gonna happen at least once. I've done it with Maractus Blastoise, where I use a water move and it hits my own Pokemon instead of the opponent's Pokemon. Cradily is a huge value in Tier 3 though. You put Power Herb, Meteor Beam, switch him into a water attack, and he's instantly at +2 special attack, you can max this thing. Or you can just like make him defensive. 86, 97, 107 defense is really good. Frostlass, this is obviously a combo. Frostlass Tauros, he's going to do Frost Breath onto Tauros. Against the 3 Hail teams, he could run an Aurora Veil Frostlass. So Frostlass is good. Tauros has Intimidate, but if he's not using these together, I don't think he's using Tauros without Frostlass. We'll see though. Clang, also huge defense. Can set Trick Room. Does he have a Trick Room setter other than that? No. So that could be his Trick Room setter. Outside of Cradily and potentially Colossal, he doesn't really have a Trick Room mode though. Manectric's good just for Lightning Rod. That'll obviously pair well with the Blastoise. And Thwackey gets a Grassy Surge if he has any priority he wants to get off, which it doesn't look like he does. Aqua Jet, I guess. Ice Shard. Thwackey still hits pretty hard. It's a good tier 4 pick. It did get brought a lot last season, whoever had it. Yeah, I would say this is probably the most top-heavy draft we've seen so far. Like, I think you can expect to see these 5 every game. And maybe even Cradily as well. But, I mean, just because it's top-heavy doesn't mean it's bad. Like, his top is very strong. English Espeons. Metagross, this was the first pick. Metagross, Rotom Heat, Bronzong, Conkeldurr, Milotic, Aurorus, there's the others, Hail Team, Butterfree, Gmax Pikachu, yes, Umbreon, Glaceon, and I believe he's getting rid of the Vanillish. Yeah, he's getting rid of the Vanillish. It apparently doesn't even get Snow Warning. I feel like that's incorrect. Doesn't matter. We'll see what he replaces that with. Metagross, Rotom Heat. Obvious synergy there. You can ally switch the Rotom Heat to dodge a ground move. Even Bronzong pairs well with Metagross for the same reason. You can skill swap on the Bronzong as well. Rotom Heat does not have skill swap. He's got Rage Powder with the Butterfree, so he could set up with Rotom, or even Bronzong with like Iron Defense, Conkeldurr with Bulk Up, or like a Flame Orb. Milotic can Coil in Hypnosis. There's a lot of combos he can do with the Butterfree. He can even Swords Dance the Metagross. I genuinely don't know what Aurorus does. It's got a huge HP stat though. Good for weather counter anyway. It's got a ton of weaknesses though. Rock Ice. And Milotic's obviously good against Intimidators. Gmax Pikachu is an incredible Gmax effect, being able to paralyze both Pokemon. And that will help him because he seems fairly slow. If he can't get Trick Room off, his average speed is 66, which even might be lower than mine. Which is surprising. So if he can get the double paralysis off, definitely worth it, because that gives him speed control. And Lightning Rod, of course, will help the Milotic. But again, watch out for your own Rotom Heat when you're doing that. Umbreon and Glaceon. Cool. Glaceon was on my list as a potential pick, but I went with Abomasnow instead at tier 3. This pair is Snowcloak. You could do some stalling tactics with Glaceon, so that's a good pick. Umbreon's just really good defensively. Snarl's a good support move. Taunt, it probably gets Foul Play. Any way to activate a Metagross weakness policy? Bronzong knows Bulldoze, that's for sure, so you can just Trick Room Bulldoze with a max HP Metagross. That seems pretty good. Yeah, this team's definitely good. I feel like most of the synergy revolves around the Butterfree, though, which I also feel like is not something you want to bring every week. I don't know. We'll see. A lot of options though. This is like most of these things have large move pools, except for the Metagross and the Rotom. Does Conkeldurr get Sucker Punch? I don't know. Halifax Hypnose. No longer the helping hands. Celestila is fantastic. Celestila, Gyarados, Zapdos, Galar, Gothitelle, Raichu, Decidueye, Gardevoir, Jinx, Golisopod, and Kangaskhan. He picked Kangaskhan from the Kangaskhan's. How rude. Oh, and Licky Licky. I missed Licky Licky. Licky Licky's good just for Cloud9, honestly. I feel like I would rather have Lickitung, especially since he doesn't have anything that holds an Eviolite. Like it doesn't do much damage anyway, but that's personal preference. I feel like Eviolite is an overpowered item in Draft League. Celestila can do literally everything, so this is a fantastic pick. Gyarados, Intimidate, and Moxie give him great options. Zapdos Galar is a good Intimidate counter as well. Can also be a great support with coaching. I think it's probably the fastest coaching user outside of Riolu. Gothitelle, either with competitive or Shadow Tag. Alright, straight up, if you bring Intimidate against this guy, you're insane. With competitive and Defiant on the same team, just don't do it. Does he have a Perish Song? Or... Jinx knows Perish Song, so he's got a Perish Trap with Gothitelle and Jinx. Anything no Yawn? Because that's always a good combo as well. Not off the top of my head. Raichu, good. Fake Out, Lightning Rod to take away electric attacks from the Gyarados. That's an obvious synergy. Also the Celestila, that's really good. That's just a good core here. Raichu with these four, that's incredible. Gardevoir gives him a Trick Room option. So does Jinx, I guess. Oh, so does Gothitelle. He's got lots of anti-Trick Room / Pro Trick Room, but he seems pretty fast. Yeah, he's really fast, so nothing here really wants Trick Room. These just seem like anti-Trick Room options. Jinx is really strong, like 115, like 35 defense, yeah, but you're just going to slap a Focus Sash on it. Dry Skin I don't think pairs with anything except Max Gyarados. Forewarn gives him information right off the bat, and that's always good. Golisopod is incredibly strong for a tier 4, but can always get forced out, so you give and you take. And Kangaskhan, being able to fake out ghosts, obviously good. Watch out Samax with your mono ghost team. Oh, they have the weaknesses. This is way better than the Battle Planner. Gives you an actual number. So it does seem like it has quite a number of weaknesses, though. Maybe I'll look at that going forward. Crocodile Dundees. And yeah, I'm not going to tier this. This is just a discussion. So this was drafted entirely by the admins. Let's see how this works. Incineroar, Dracovish, Talonflame, Tyranitar, Duraludon, Alcremie, Exeggutor, Shiinotic, Togepi, Wailord, and Walrein. Walrein's a very weird fit here. But Incineroar, like Intimidate, Fake Out, Parting Shot, plus his crazy defenses. And really high attack, like you can max Incineroar, obviously. So, great pick. Dracovish, he has the Dracovish Tyranitar pair, he has Dracovish Talonflame, so he could do Choice Band or Life Orb, depending on who he wants to bring. Talonflame with the priority Tailwind is obviously good. He does have the Trick Room option with Exeggutor if he wants to go that way. This actually has really good speed tiering. Maybe not. He doesn't have anything that's super fast, but he does have Tailwind to supplement that. So he's got the Tailwind and the Trick Room option, which is good. Duraludon with Stalwart will be good against all the redirectors, especially the fairy ones. Alchemy Decorate. Alchemy plus Duraludon is a really good combo, actually. Exeggutor... I don't know. Seems hard to use, in my opinion. Same with Shiinotic. I guess Double grass, though, too. I feel like you're never going to bring these two at the same time. Togepi is basically just here to follow me and die, I believe. I don't even think you'd run an Eviolite on it because 35 HP is horrible. You'd probably just focus sash the Togepi. Wailord, that's an absurd stat. But other than that, I don't know, I don't think it's good. And Walrein is pretty out of place. Yeah, not a terribly big fan of this team. I think this is very top heavy as well. Like, Duraludon up, and then everything else is like very questionable. Alchemy would, yeah. I feel like you just run these 6 every game, but then you're so weak to ground. Moving on, the Lux Rays with the sick logo. He does have the Glastrier, the G-Max Blastoise, Landorus Incarnate, Hippowdon, Klefki again, Musharna, Stoutland, Tangela, Fletchinder, Magneton, and Turtonator. Does he have a Trick Room? Yeah, he's got Musharna. Klefki is one of my favorite prankster users. Gets a ton of options. Glastrier is an absurd Pokemon. You basically need Will-O-Wisp to deal with it, I think, or a ton of Intimidates. And I don't think he has anything with competitive. He does not. Oops. Blastoise G-Max. That G-Max effect is crazy. He has no reader. He has Tangela. But Tangela can be countered with safety goggles, as can my Tangrowth. He's got the anti-weather in Hippowdon, plus the Sandrush Stoutland if he wants to go that way. Chlorophyll, Tangela could be good. I did bring Gloom with Chlorophyll to outspeed some Sun teams. Didn't work, but it's a good option to have. I think Tangela's a little slow, but he does have Priority Tailwind. Actually, he's faster than Tangrowth, 60. Priority Tailwind, Eviolite on Magneton's, like I talked about that in a previous video. Huge special attack. Decent defenses with an Eviolite goes way up, and Magnet Pull could be good in some cases. Landorus I, he seems really big on this Pokemon. I don't really care for it. He's got Sand Force though, so you could go, yeah, Sandstream plus Sand Force. That's a good option. Already talked about Klefki. Musharna's a really tanky Trick Room setter or Reverser. I feel like Turtonator and Magneton are his only real Trick Room options. Oh, Glastrier, right, yeah. So he's got good modes here. Yeah, if he wants to go fast mode, he can bring Fletchinder. Klefki can Thunder Wave. So good speed tiering on his part. I feel like he's weak to Ice. Oh, he's got +1 on Ice, actually. Very good defensive coordination here. Only 2 weaknesses, or net weaknesses to Fire and Water. Good team. London Aces. Tapu Koko, which was the top of my list. Volcarona, Arctozolt, Inteleon G-Max, Meowstic Male, Ninetales, Alola, Copperajah, Gourgeist, Quagsire, Maboy, Raboot, and Thievul. Okay, first obvious synergy is Thievul plus Tapu Koko with the Electric Seed. The fact that he got that with a tier 4 is incredible. Redirection with the Volcarona. And he's got an Ice Setter with Arctozolt. Arctozolt does a ton of damage in the Hail with the Slush Rush ability. Not a fan of Inteleon G-Max, but he's very fast, so he's got that going for him. Meowstic can be used for speed control with either Trick Room or Thunder Wave, depending on which way he wants to go. Does not have Tailwind, I believe. No. Got another Trick Room setter in Gourgeist, which he had last season as well. Must really like him. Trick or Treat is a fun ability or move that he could use. Could get Aurora Veil up with the Ninetales as well. Tapu Koko's a beast. Electric Surge, terrain control is really good. Like, you're probably not going to put anything to sleep on this team. Plus lots of good support moves as well. Screens, Thunder Wave. Copper Raja. It does have a huge attack, but its defenses are pretty suspect. And Copper Raja G-Max was in the same tier. I feel like you should probably have just taken that one. Like you get the Steel type Stealth Rocks up instead of a defense boost. Do you really need? Maybe. An argument could be made for either. Maybe this is better. Love Quagsire. He's so good against water-based strategies because of Water Absorb, or any sort of boosting strategy because of Unaware. Plus, he has Haze. His defenses are decent, 95, 85, 65, so you just dump into special defense. And you ignore defensive boosts as well. So if you, like I slapped a Life Orb on Quagsire a lot, and just went with that. Reboot is pretty bad. I guess it might just be here for court change. I don't know, that's, I think, the only weak link I see on this. This team looks pretty great. I don't like Inteleon either. But other than those two, this team's fantastic. What about his weaknesses? 1, 2, 3, 4 net weaknesses. Fire, Ghost, Ground is a tough one to have, and Rock, also a tough one to have, given Earthquake and Rock Slide. But I really like this team. London, Sableyes, Regieleki, Lapras G-Max, Cofagrigus, Mandibuzz, Virizion, Alolan Dugtrio, G-Max Machamp, Salazzle, Skarmory, Carbink, and normal Sandaconda. So Regieleki, you basically have to pick, is he going to be screens or is he going to be offensive? And in the end, he could just be speed control. These two combo together very well. Does he have anything? I mean, Lapras could also combo with this Machamp to do a ton of damage. Like, that's good defenses if you get the screens up. I feel like you probably need Brick Break against this team. Cofagrigus is a huge defensive tank. Mummy's a pretty good ability. Trick Room, I feel like he doesn't really have a good Trick Room option. Maybe Machamp. I don't know how slow Machamp is. Yeah, Machamp could work in Trick Room. It's not the best, obviously. Mandibuzz probably could as well. This is probably just going to be for Burns and Anti-Trick Room. Mandibuzz, I'm not a fan of. I've never been able to make it work, but maybe he can. Virizion plus Dugtrio, obviously, with the beat-up stuff. Yeah, G-Max Machamp. Does he have anything that gets better with crits? Because that would be a cool combo. Not seeing anything. But if you run that with a Scope Lens, you get guaranteed crits off with the G-Max effect. That could be good. Also, Guts is a good ability against anything with Burn. Salazzle is fast with Fake Out and good support options, but it's super frail. Prone to dying to anything with Fake Out. I think Skarmory's pretty bad. I don't know what Skarmory does. Carbink, I also think is pretty bad. I mean, it's tanky, but I don't know what else it does. And normal Sandaconda, I guess, gives him some sort of weather control if it gets hit. But otherwise, yeah, not very good. I think this guy's whole team depends on the success of Regieleki and Lapras, and potentially some Dugtrio Virizion sometimes. London Sableye. We got 2 London teams. Sorry, I was just on London Sableye. New York Ninetales. Samax, the absolute madman. Well, there's been more free agency and trades. UU dropped Lycanroc and took Sandslash. Okay. We got Tapu Fini, Terrakion, Delmise, Driftblim, Reuniclus. You pick Reuniclus again. Dugtrio, Morgrem, Torracat, Porygon, Vulpix. 4 Eviolite users. Morgrem might be more of a Focus Sasher. but and he's probably also Focus Sash with full picks. Tapu Fini's obviously good. Very good defensively. Misty Surge to stop any status. I feel like the main combo here is the Doug Trio on the Terrakion. You can also give a Misty Seed, Driftblim on Burden. You could do Shadow Sneak, Delmise, or Sucker Punch, or Reuniclus might get Shadow Sneak onto Driftblim to give him weakness policy. He was talking about some explosion strats, which you could obviously do with Telepathy, Ghost type. He's got the beat up from Doug Trio onto Terrakion. I don't know if I mentioned that already. He does not have Tailwind. Porygon's good for... Porygon's not that less tanky than Porygon 2. But he's still less tanky, so he's definitely worse. But still could be viable to set Trick Room for him. You could do like a Reuniclus Porygon Trick Room strat. Doug Trio has speed control with Bulldoze. Compare that with Tapu Fini as well. Delmise, as we saw last season, is crazy strong. Reuniclus can also set Trick Room. Morgrim probably, it's just light Grimmsnarl, right? The tier 3 pick. Really good prankster options. Like basically anything you would really want. Thunder Wave, Reflect, Light Screen, Taunt. Plus he can't be taunted himself. Pickpocket's not going to do anything for you though. You don't want to run offensive Morgrim. Torracat is not Dark type. Has Intimidate. Really not tanky, actually. I think Torracat kind of sucks. And Vulpix gives him Weather Control, which is good. Could run Aurora Veil. Could also Ice Shard into Driftblim if he wants to do that. He's an Ice Shard into Doug Trio with his 35 HP. I feel like Driftblim's the main focus of this team, which is strange. I think Torracat's pretty useless. And I'm not sure... Porygon's doing good support as well with Eerie Impulse, but like he's... Maybe with a download boost you could get pretty high. If he's max special attack, gets him to 225. And normal type is always a good type to have. This team will be neat to see play out, I think. I think he might struggle against really fast teams who are able to stop the Trick Room from going up, but we'll see. So will I, to be fair. The Nova Scotia Sea Kings, who I think probably has the best synergy. I remember thinking that as the draft proceeded. Obviously, where's the Porygon Z? Oh, it's right there. Clefairy Porygon Z, incredible combo. You get the friend card onto the adaptability Porygon Z. He's also got Charge-a-Bug, who boosts special attack by 1.3 times, which will definitely pair with only the Porygon Z, actually. I guess Espeon as well, and Zoroark. Okay, yeah, it's a good pick. And he's great support. String Shot, Eerie Impulse, both good. Arcanine with Intimidate. Does he have a beat-up user? I feel like Zoroark probably gets beat up. Maybe Passimian does too. So he could do some justified stuff, which he did last season with Lucario. Intimidate's a really good ability, and Arcanine's just really good. Good support options too, with Snarl and Will-O-Wisp. Does he have a trapping mechanism? Don't think so. No. So Azumarill does know Parasong though. That could be a way to finish off series. And he's got the Receiver plus huge power Misty Explosion combo that he can do. Defiant also on Passimian, so it's good against Intimidators. Corviknight, G-Max. I don't know why he picked G-Max. I don't know. It gets Tailwind though. Mirror Armor's a really good ability. I like that it's in the proper English way as well with the U. Espeon Magic Bounce always good. This is a pretty good Trick Room option if he wants it. This team seems pretty fast though. Decent speed tiering actually. Pinsir's fairly slow, right? No, Pinsir's pretty fast actually. So he doesn't really have a Trick Room option then. except maybe a Azumarill. Zoroark, just for shenanigans, I'm guessing, is still very strong, but super frail. You basically have to make a guess if you see Zoroark, which is always a good thing for him to have, because he is always in control of the situation. Pikachu with Lightning Rod, I guess will help the Azumarill. He's got to watch out for Max Lightning, Porygon Z, as I keep saying. And even Eerie Impulse Charge-a-Bug. I don't know why he would ever do that, but like play those two together, that seems weird. And he's got Fake Out and other supportive stuff. And Pinsir's actually super strong, so I think that's a really good last pick. Little frail special defensively, but very strong. Hyper Cutter, so can't be intimidated. Moxie also to get attack boosts. This team will be very interesting to watch every week, that's for sure. I feel like the synergy is out of this world, and if he picks the right strategy for the week, it'll be very hard to beat. Phoenix Suns. Thundurus. I thought this would go number 1, and it dropped very low. Excuse me. A lot of talking. You basically have to predict whether he's going to bring Prankster or Defiant. If he brings Prankster, and you don't have something to stop his like Thunder Wave and stuff, you're screwed. If he brings Defiant and you add a bunch of Intimidates and he gets attack boosts, then you're also screwed. Latias, I'm not a big fan of. But it does have a lot of good support options and pretty good special attack. It can set Trick Room as well. I think it also gets Tailwind, I'm not sure. Salamence is neat. Intimidate and Moxie are both good. Huge attack stat. Obviously can just fire off max Airstreams and max Dragons. I think it's just a better version of Gyarados. He's got the triple starter pledge trio. Blaziken, Primarina, Sceptile. So if he gets the Swamp up, or what's the other one? The Fire, the one that does damage. Those are the only two useful ones. I think that's Fire and Grass. I don't think Fire and Water is good at all. But the Swamp is incredible. Best method of speed control in the game, unless the other team has Trick Room. Otherwise, I don't really like Blaziken. It's pretty frail. It does have high attack and special attack. Speed boost could work against it in Trick Room. I don't know. Primarina is really good. Gives him a Parasong endgame if he ever wants to work to that. Does he have a Trapper? No. Aggron with Sturdy. Watch out for Custap Berries against this guy. If you haven't thought of that yet, Poppin' Fresh, Aggron with a Custap Berry is good. His defense is ridiculous. He gets Endeavor with Sturdy as well. Fairly good attacker, really good in Trick Room. Mr. Rhyme and Latias are his only Trick Room setters. Yep. Mr. Rhyme is great just because of this. Also gets Fake Out. Ice Shard to activate Weakness Policy on this Unburdened Sceptile probably. That's good synergy. Or even on Salamence or Latias or Thundurus. I think he's going to bring Mr. Rhyme a lot. And this is good defense, 80, 75, 100, plus the 110 special attack. It's just got a really weird speed stat. 70. That's probably like the worst speed stat to have, was my only problem with playing Mr. Rhyme. Absol with Justified. Does he have a beat upper? I feel like Sceptile probably learns beat up. You could also just super luck, but like this thing dies to a Swift Breeze. I bet at least one person loses to this Absol at one point in the season, but I think it's pretty bad. Doublade is actually really good with EVL8. Like, this is a huge attack and defense stat. And with EVL8, this 111 goes up to like I don't want to do the math, 170 something. And Hippopotas for weather control. And I guess it also boosts Aggron a little bit, but yeah, Yeah, Hippopotas, other than counter weather, it seems a little out of place. It does learn Yawn and good supportive moves. This team's going to be fun as well to watch. A lot of cool options. I like it. I didn't look at his matchups. Or the last guy's matchups. He's only got 2 net weaknesses. Fairy and Ghost. Fairy's a good weakness to have because not a lot of people are going to have strong Fairy options. Seattle Super Sonic Booms. This team is terrifying because he's the water team. And he's also got Centiskorch G-Max. So Rillaboom, Kartana, Politoed, Kingdra, Aerodactyl, Centiskorch, Gothorita, Jolteon, Slurpuff, Corsola, and Scyther. I love Scyther. I'm surprised he picked Rillaboom and not something like Zapdos. You can obviously make a trade after, but I mean, Rillaboom's still good in rain, obviously. But like, this team's gonna have a hard time against Sun teams. It's the only issue I see. He's got to be very smart when he plays Sun teams. Kartana is ridiculous. 181 attack. Get the fuck out of here. It's going to be Assault Vested, though, most of the time, or Focus Sashed. Politoed gives him a Perish Song. Like, he can Perish Trap with Centiskorch, or even Gothorita. Politoed also gets Yawn. He can Yawn Trap with Centiskorch or Gothorita. Like, these 3, that's an incredible combo. He can also just run Swift Swim Kingdra and murder people. Aerodactyl gives him Tailwind. He doesn't even need to bring Politoed. Jolteon with Thunders in the Rain. Thunder Weather Ball. Incredible. Slurpuff gets Trick Room and it stops Fake Out, I believe. Otherwise, I genuinely don't know what it does. Unburden String Shot for speed control, potentially. Galarian Corsola is just a super tank, and otherwise I don't know what it does. It might get Perish Song, I'm not sure. And Scyther. With an Eevee, like, this thing is super tanky. He's got Technician, so he's always doing a ton of damage. The problem is the 4 times weakness to Rock, and Electric and Ice weaknesses as well. But somebody's going to lose to the Scyther at some point as well. And obviously the Fire weakness gets taken away from Politoed. So this team's very synergistic as well. Obviously the Politoed is the scariest part, I think. Comboing with basically everything on his team except the Aerodactyl. So, I knew somebody would pick Politoed in Tier 1 this season. And I'm glad they did. This team is also going to be really fun to watch. 2 more. St. Michael Alchemys. Whimsicott, Dracozolt, Hydreigon, Alchemy G-Max, Corviknight, Chandelure, Jellicent, Weavile, Caracosta, Normal Centiskorch, and Amora. 2 weak. So that's just here for countering weather, I'm guessing. It's got good Trick Chi. Sorry, I'm going to keep doing that. Prankster for Tailwind with Dracozolt is obviously a good combo. Does she have a Sand Setter? Nope, just the Ice Setter. So she's probably not going to do Sand Rush. Hydreigon with Levitate would pair well with anything with Earthquake, which I think is only the Caracosta. But Hydreigon in Tailwind is still pretty good. The Fairy Dragon Dark and Steel Core is good. The G-Max effect with the healing and the preventing of flinching is pretty good. Didn't realize Alchemy had 110 special attack. Corviknight with Mirror Armor is nice. Chandelure can set Trick Room, but that's probably going to be Jellicent's job. Don't really like Chandelure. 145 special attack is huge, but I feel like every time I've tried to run it or seen somebody tried to run it, it just doesn't do well. I do like Jellicent more. Water Spout, Will-O-Wisp, Strength Sap, Nightshade, Trick Room, tons of good sport options. Weavile could do a weakness policy stuff with Hydreigon or Dracozolt. Caracosta, I think, is a great option for Trick Room, but like these stats, other than special defense, are wild. 32 speed is great in Trick Room. You can also run Shell Smash with the Tailwind. And these two, I think, are pretty terrible. Good only for countering weather. Centiskorch, I don't know what it does outside of G-Max. And the Undella Unknowns. Indeedee, Hatterene, Torkoal, Venusaur, Gigalith, Araquanid, Rabombi, Noctowl, Sandslash, Wigglytuff, and Krabby, which she's getting rid of at some point. Yep. Yeah, this is just a placeholder for now. Still got 105 attack, though. This team's synergy is out of this world, too. Indeedee plus Hatterene, we all know. Venusaur, Torkoal, we all know. Gigalith, Rabombi can work with Speed Swap. Or Rabombi can just Speed Swap a Torkoal or a Hatterene. Araquanid could also be Speed Swapped with that. Oh, his attack's only 70. I thought it was higher than that. But Araquanid's very tanky. Sandslash goes with the Gigalith. Sandrush could be good. I think Sandslash is pretty garbage, but it is tier 4. Wigglytuff competitive could be good on Wigglytuff. Basically need to boost these defenses though. But even still, I think without any investment you get up to like 220 special attack with a competitive boost, which is pretty good. Noctowl Tinted Lens is going to be a huge damage dealer. I guarantee someone loses to that. But yeah, there's so many options to prep for here. This team's going to be a nightmare to prep for. If you decide correctly every game, you're probably going to win. But the problem is if you decide incorrectly, you're probably going to lose. I feel like this team's going to be a 50-50 whether you beat it or not. Because the strategies are very obvious. But they're also very good. There's my thoughts on every team. And this is a long video, so if you actually watch the whole thing, thanks for watching. Peace.